Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I'm wondering if you felt it. The Schumann resonance went up again. I'm going to read that first because it's pretty exciting stuff. Today is 4/25, April 25th, 10 o'clock a.m. UTC time. After a few days of calm with minor spikes, just now a strong amplitude variation reached 63 hertz at 9:45 UTC. It has been anticipated by three smaller movements between 20 hertz and 36 hertz that started at 1 UTC. Now, the afternoon, it says, at the 1700 UTC report, after the powerful 63 hertz peak mentioned below, the activity did not calm down. The variations continued with four strong peaks at around 50 hertz, which occurred between 10 and 1530 UTC. It's so cool, right? So as you recall, if you are new to the show, we do talk about the Ascension Symptom Scale and the Schumann resonance. If it's above 40 hertz, that means it's in the fifth dimension. We are already in the fifth dimension. We are just now trying to make the adjustments. And it's been a long haul. For years we've been making the transition. Now we are officially not in the third dimension anymore, even though it looks the same. You really can't tell the difference. Some things, you'll notice that there's brighter lights around plants. There's brighter energy. Things have lightened up. It's a little bit easier to make progress in your life in general. We're still dealing with the remnants of the 3D world and the life of duality. We are coming into the law of one, where we don't have duality any longer. And today the Schumann, the Ascension scale symptoms were at 92. Yesterday we were at 91. So we're going back up. Now, 100% would mean that we no longer are feeling symptoms, but yet are ascended. As a collective whole, 99 is the most we can get as far as the symptoms are concerned. And we're now at a 92. Yesterday we went down to a 91. We have been in the upper 90s for days. So we're starting to ramp up again, I think. It's good though. Yesterday I mentioned the symptoms were a lot of throat stuff, swelling in the throat, sometimes holding on to extra water weight. Tinnitus for sure is always a typical one. And in the past week I've gotten tinnitus where I hear sharp sounds in my right and then my left and then my right ear and then my left ear, back and forth. Also, I've been hearing like a super high pitched, a different tone than usual in my left ear, followed by I absolutely can't hear it all, and then back to the tone and then to another tone and then back up to the other tone. So it's just the tinnitus is the same, but it's different. Heart palpitations is a big one that's been happening a lot to a lot of people. I forgot to report that one yesterday. So if these things are happening to you, don't be alarmed. You're probably okay. If you start to feel panicky and you feel like you really want to look into it further and explore it with a doctor, don't hesitate to do that because you just never know. But for the most part, I'm thinking it is like actual ascension symptoms and not something worthy of medical help usually. But I don't know. If you feel otherwise, go immediately to a doctor. Don't take my word for it. I don't know you. I'm not a doctor. I'm not with you. So be safe. It's better to be safe than sorry, obviously. But another ascension symptom that you may not even be aware of is if you go outside in the sunlight and you put your hands or arms underneath the sun and you take a magnifying glass or a magnification app, you could get, download them for free. Find one that can go up to 30 times, you're going to want to take a look at your skin in the sunlight. The sunlight's going to activate you. Yeah, just like on Twilight. We are becoming crystalline forms. Literally, our DNA is transforming us from a carbon-based to a crystalline-based form. We've been pushed as coal long enough. We're turning into diamonds now. You can tell by looking at your skin under that your skin's going to look shinier, almost like the molecules are tighter together. I know for sure that's what's going on with me. My skin looks whiter, but more like porcelain than traditional 3D skin. So I can see a gold sheen and a gold shimmer at certain angles. It's pretty crazy, and you amp up the magnification, you're going to see crystalline forms, and in some cases, little geometric patterns are starting to form. So it's something to be excited about. Another thing is, I just heard a lady, I couldn't believe it, that she actually mentioned this, but her hair is starting to turn back to its original color. My hair is turning back to its original color. If normally you dye your hair, go check your roots. Hopefully you'll be pleasantly surprised. If it's not happening yet, it will be. It's coming. We all have different rates of growth, just like babies do various tasks at different times. Some babies at 7 months old get their teeth, and sometimes they don't get their teeth till they're 16 months old. Doesn't mean you're not going to get your teeth. Just means that everyone is different, and everything that all babies do, they do at their own pace. Well, just like us. We're growing up, and we are becoming fifth dimensional beings. We're becoming more responsible with our lives on every possible level. And we're growing, and we're becoming crystalline. It's pretty exciting. It's really exciting stuff, guys. I'm absolutely my hair is blown back and it's exposing my redhead roots. Oh God, I've been dyeing my hair since 2010. I have been searching and searching and searching for a cure. I'm like, what mineral am I missing? I started taking copper supplements for a while. I mean, anything to get the color back. I'm like, maybe I just need to eat Cheetos or orange food. What's going on with my hair? But it's so exciting. It's so exciting. I can't believe it. My hair is naturally coming back. I thought it was because I was eating or drinking hot tea every night, Jello tea. I put like a little bit of gelatin in my tea, and I thought that was it. And I am feeling better. I have no wrinkles. I feel great. For 50 years old, I look 30, and I don't tell you guys this to brag. I'm telling you guys because putting coconut oil on your face and drinking gelatin really will help. My nails are growing super fast. My hair is growing fast. But now it's its original color. And I thought, oh, it's got to be the gelatin. But this other lady reported it's just because of the ascension. So that's exciting. You don't have to do anything different other than keep meditating, keep raising your vibration, keep healing yourself if you need healing on emotional, spiritual, mental, or physical levels. It's coming. We're getting better and better. Eventually, we're going to stop holding on to the excess water weight, and we're going to be thinner, also taller. That's another ascension symptom. Have you guys noticed? Are your hands growing or your feet? Are you becoming taller as a person? I'm so excited. I've been 5 foot my whole life. I want to be taller. Taller and thinner. Yay. That would be perfect. Thank you, universe. You got my order. Pretty exciting stuff. Well, today is Throwback Thursday, so I'm not going to go on and on too much here in the introduction. I'll come back and mention any Earth news that's taken place over the last 2 to 3 days. I think there was another issue with a church in India. Hold on a minute. Let me look this up, and I got to verify the source before I mention this. Yeah, I just checked. A friend of mine sent a thing saying that in the news yesterday, Indian churches burned, and no, that happened in January. And I didn't know about it, but it's just another example of the crazy anti-religion thing. That's why I said, you guys, don't go to churches or mosques if you don't feel safe. If you feel like there's a possibility of this where you live, you could always, if you feel like worshiping God in a traditional way, you could do it at your house. You could do it outside in nature. God created nature. It's God's church. It's all around you. Just be safe out there. But I had a couple of people had sent me this thing about missionaries in Afghanistan are going to be put to death for trying to convert Muslims to Christianity. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, in Islam, we're not allowed to convert anybody. It's not, religion isn't important to God. What's important to God is the good deeds that you do. So if you, have better deeds, more better deeds, or more good deeds than bad deeds, then you'll definitely get to heaven in the traditional Islamic idea of this. So you could be an atheist and get to heaven, and you could be somebody of faith, but if you're a jerk 6 days a week and the seventh day you go to church, it doesn't make you an automatic candidate just because you say you're that religion. So whatever that religion is. So I don't know. I mean, I just feel like, when you're going to go to a land and force your way onto somebody without knowing anything about that somebody, your chances are you're going to get killed. A lot of situations in this world over the past several thousand years that I feel like more people should have been killed for trying to do that, just to be honest with you. Spanish conquistadors, for example. If the native people of South America and Central America and North America had seen it coming and had weapons, none of this stuff that happened would have happened. Slavery might not have existed in the Americas. There's a lot of stuff that, millions of people were killed because a group of people thought, oh, let's just go convert everybody because they're savages and don't know anything. I'm sorry, if you're going to be stupid and try to go to another land to convert the people to your way and force your religion on them, you kind of deserve to die. I'm sorry. It's just, it is kind of that way, because I feel like you're being super judgmental, and it shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be so judgmental as to think, and so high and mighty and superior, moralistically superior, even though you're not morally superior, to think that somebody else's way is way worse than yours and you need to force that on them. You're going to get yourself killed. It just seems super obvious to me. I don't know. It makes me sad that people think that that's like their mission in life, to force their way on other people. That's spiritual rape. So, I don't know. My friend sent me this thing about all these churches in India are being burned. And then the second half of the article was, and all these Christians or missionaries are being put to death in Afghanistan. And I'm like, you know what? They kind of freaking deserve that. They really deserve that, just because, duh. They're just doing the Spanish conquistador thing all over again. They're doing manifest destiny all over again. You don't go to someone's land and try to tell them that they're wrong. That in and of itself is super wrong. Anyway, I can't even. It's just crazy. I am starting to feel better, even though I might not sound better. I am a lot better today. I've been getting a lot of sleep. I had dreams again. I'm going to report to you my dreams. They were very snaky. Why, universe, are you sending me dreams of snakes repeatedly? Anyway, I had a dream that I was in this mall. And this mall, the entire thing was made of wood. Very, very strange mall. It was like an old Wild West, like the walkways were like sidewalks of wood, wooden planks. And the whole mall was just this cedar wood. It was beautiful, smelled amazing, obviously. And in the mall, it was a very small mall, and there's all these little shops. And of course, I went into the pet store, which was a pet store only for snakes. And I thought, well, that'd be interesting, go around, look at the snakes, and then leave, And I was like with my kids, and they were out off running around in the rest of the mall. And I'm like, I'm going to go look in the snake store. And they're like, cool, we'll come back and we'll see what they have and come back and look in the snake store with you, Mom. And I'm like, cool. So I walk in and I don't see a single snake, and there's no cages. Always a bad sign, right? And it appeared like nobody was in the store, no salespeople, and there were no snakes. And I'm like, maybe they just haven't started yet. Maybe it's a new store. And then I looked around and I kind of walked around the store once, and I started to go towards the door, and I thought, well, maybe I'm missing something. I'm going to come right back in. And as I came back in, I saw a snake that had this, there was no purple on the snake or around the snake, but the aura of the snake was this intense violet color, so beautiful, and almost like a fuchsia and violet fused. And then the snake itself was hot orange and hot electric emerald green. And I knew that it stood for, it was like it was a real snake, and it nodded its head like it's saying yes to me. And it was the fusion of psychedelic drug use and spirituality, 100%. It was almost like, yeah, it's okay that you've been doing this. On occasion, I don't do it every day. I do it every 3 or 4 months, or sometimes just once a year, to see into other realms and go to visit to other dimensions and talk to people. It makes it a little easier. So that was the first snake that I saw. And then I got farther into the store, and I could hear the hissing of the snakes, but I saw nothing. And I'm like, this is getting kind of weird and creepy. Just a little bit. And then I turn, and this really wild snake comes up to me. And I think it had like a tan underbelly, but the whole snake was white. And it had these geometric patterns in red, black, and yellow. And it's not like a snake I've ever seen. It was a snake of symbology. And the patterns were like a Native American pattern. And I know the colors. White, red, black, and yellow mean the 4 directions. And the snake raised up and just kind of looked into my eyes. And then I started to panic, and I woke up. Because it is a snake. And it's like, why can't the universe just give me dreams of baby kittens or, unicorns or something that is fluffy like a bunny rabbit? Why does it have to be snakes? Serpent power, kundalini, like it always freaks me out. And then I wake up in a panic, and then, oh man, it was a spiritual message. I wasn't really there. It's so frustrating. Anyway, there are in Native American traditions, the idea that the people came from the 7 sisters, the Pleiades, and they decided to go off. There were 4 brothers, and they came to explore this world, and they went off in 4 directions. And that as they went off into these different directions, that grew into all the people of the world, and then the people that stayed there, would be like the 5th color or whatever. And the snake had all the colors that represent this, but also, it's just different things, like white would be the divine, and maybe yellow would be, the intellect, or maybe, I don't know. And then the tan would be like the plant in the physical earth itself. And black would be the spirit world. And red would be, I don't know what, the people. I don't know. I honestly don't know what it means on that level. But I do know that those 4 colors do represent the 4 directions: north, east, south, and west. And it was all in one snake. And so I think that the dream was telling me that through the use of psychedelics and to explore my spirituality, and through deep spirituality that's now been integrated in me, I am now able to see and live and embody the law of one, And the second snake means the law of one. It's all of the people together combined in one snake, all of the four directions combined in one snake, all of the things of the world combined into one snake, which is that raw, feminine and divine masculine power combined into one snake. And it's just like the law of one. It's where we're at. We are beyond duality. We're now in the area in which we are one with each other. And we're waking up to the fact that we're one with each other. I mean, that's kind of the more important part of this, is you have to recognize it. You can't hate anybody without hating yourself. You can't hurt somebody without hurting yourself. You got to understand it on a very deep, powerful, spiritual level. By now, you've got to know it. And no one's going to do it for you. You got to take responsibility to understand it and know it on really, really deep visceral levels, deep soul levels, cellular levels. You know, we're taking in the rainbow energies. When you do the magnification thing, you're going to start seeing like rainbows in your skin. And now we're pulling in silver, gold, and copper energies from the sun. It's being bombarded. I mean, it comes through windows and it comes through walls. It's like an energetic plasma, not anything you're going to see with your physical eyes. But if you can see with your psychic vision, you're going to see it. With your pineal gland, you'll see it. That's your third eye. Your pineal gland really is your third eye. Back 10,000 to 100,000 years ago, or maybe 10 million years ago, that was literally a third eye on top of our heads. We could see through the mist, and we can navigate based on sensing light through all the dense fog. There was so much oxygen in our atmosphere back then. And lizards have that now, and you could see it. Some of them have just a teeny, tiny membrane over what is literally a third eye. All the creatures used to have this. Physical. You know, now we're going back up to the higher realms, and we are physically moving. This is unprecedented. You know, we are growing and learning, and where we're going is unprecedented in the world. It's really crazy stuff. So anyway, I've been getting number messages. Looked in the clouds 3 times today and saw the number 3. So that's a 333 thing. So it was like so awesome. I love when the universe gives me messages in the clouds. One of the 3s had wispy things coming off of it and met at a point. So it's kind of like a heart on its side. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I was playing around with my calculator. I don't know what I was adding up. Oh, my minutes tonight, trying to figure out at what point I should break and edit my video. My audio. And so while I was doing the calculations, and then I zeroed it out, so it just said 0. And I put my phone down and I went off to go grab a cup of coffee. I came back and my calculator said 777. I did not put that there. But God gave me a message and it was 777. I thought that was pretty cool. So I don't know. I mean, it's just things are moving and shaking. Oh, I discovered a brand new TV show on Netflix today, because, you know, I will sit here and be editing my video and I'll be doing my research, and I put on a show in the background, especially if it has a positive vibe, or sometimes I'll do music. You know, usually it's just like YouTube music. India Ari is like my favorite, or Jason Mraz, something that makes me happy and smile a lot. But you guys might have missed this one, and in case you did, I'm going to be here to tell you about it. Kevin Probably Saves the World is the name of this show. Kevin Probably Saves the World. The main character is Jason Ritter. I don't know if he's related to John Ritter or not, but he looks like he possibly could be. He's got those beautiful Ritter blue eyes. But Jason Ritter he plays a character that just everything in his life fell apart. He lost everything. And he goes back to Texas, where he's from, and he decides to move in with his sister and her daughter. And they just lost, her husband died. So they just had a loss in their life also. So everyone's kind of struggling. They come back together as a family. And he encounters a meteorite. And from the meteorite becomes a celestial being who is sent to help him get on the spiritual path that he was always meant to be on. And it's a hilarious show. It's hysterically funny. I mean, it's pretty good. But you'll notice that John Ritter, he was in another spiritual show, Joan of Arcadia, one of my most favorite shows of all time, which he plays a wheelchair-bound guy, and he's really angry because he lost his football scholarship when he got behind a wheel drunk. And so that was like his backstory. Well, in that one, his sister played the part of the person, Joan. She appeared to be cracking up, and she's always talking to herself, but really she was talking to God. God appeared to her as different people. Sometimes other people couldn't see God, and sometimes it just appeared like she's talking to the janitor randomly, or like a homeless person, or whoever God appeared to her as, that day. So it was kind of cool that now he gets to be talking to a celestial being that nobody else can see. And he's now the one to appear that he's been cracking, he's the one cracking up. So anyway, if you guys get a moment, you want to go binge watch something hilarious. The episodes themselves are very long. They're almost an hour. So it's one of those that you might want to see, one a night before you go to bed or something. It's kind of a feel-good type of show, but it's so funny. And so, anyway, I just wanted to recommend a TV show, something more spiritual and less violent. There's so much crap on the reality shows. I don't even watch that unless it's cooking shows, which very rarely. If it's funny cooking shows, I'll watch it, But, and also I watch real estate shows. I got a passion for real estate and architecture, so I love to watch those shows. But anyway, Kevin probably saves the world. And the word probably is in parentheses because they're not sure yet if he's going to save the world or not. Anyway, I wanted to leave you guys with some of these wild thoughts and crazy things that came to me today, and messages from the dream world, and the rainbows in our skin, the crystals, rainbows, and flakes of gold. It looks like literally we're like turning into gold, we're crystalline beings. And our hair is growing back the original color. I don't know. It's just, these are cool ascension symptoms, man. Much, much better than getting colds and flu for the last time. Hopefully it will be the last time. I have no idea. I know as much as you guys know, or you guys know as much as I know. I'll tell you what I learned through my research, but this is all new territory. I mean, literally in the universe, this is all new territory. There's so many UFOs being seen in the skies because they're all watching. They're so excited. They cannot wait to come into our realm, and they're observing us. The Andromedans, the Arcturians or Arcturians, however you want to pronounce that, the Orions, the Lyrans, people from all over the universe, they're coming to look at us. They want to know. They want to see us. They want to watch our evolution. They're so excited about it. And a lot of these beings are in the 5th dimension. Arcturians, they live in the 9th dimension. And they can't wait for us to go up, up, up. I mean, once we hit the 5th dimension and we can raise our vibe high enough to hit the 7th, some of the Arcturians might lower their vibe so that we could see them in the 7th. We might meet them in the middle. They've got a lot of knowledge. They've been around millions of years. Their people are obviously way more advanced. They've hit the 9th. Pleiadians live in the 5th. They cannot wait. In fact, I think some of them live in the 7th. Some of their masters and stuff. I mean, when you start realizing that we're part of a global conversation, not global, I should say universal. It's just, we are part of a universal conversation, and we're going to be joining all of our other families that we didn't even know existed. You know, it's pretty cool. I don't know. I look forward to all of it. So I wanted to mention also something Lisa Transcends Brown said, that after you get to the point in which you love everybody, after you get to the point in which you've forgiven everybody, after the point in which you have felt a great deal of gratitude, gratefulness for everything, and you start noticing the glory of God in every living creature, even if it's a blade of grass or a butterfly or a leaf or the trees or the sky, you know, once you start having this grand appreciation and gratitude, you then become, the next stage of this is to be super generous. And if you don't have money, you're just like generous with your time, generous with your helpfulness. You're helping other people. And you just do it as a service to the one divine will and service to others. And that becomes way more important to you than anything else. That becomes the one true path for you. So something to notice in yourself. You've probably already done it without noticing it. If you've been doing it, give yourself a pat on the back. If you haven't done it yet, you're going to start noticing it. It's just going to be a natural stage in your emotional and mental and spiritual evolutions. While your physical body is transforming into a lovely creature. Not actual creature, but you know what I mean. Just the highest, best version of yourself. It's all pretty exciting. All right, after this message coming up, we're going to have part 2 in the Mayan creation story. It's an interview I did years ago with Douglas Quinones, who is a doctor. He has his PhD in archaeology. And he talks about anthropology and archaeology from a Mayan perspective. He himself is a descendant of the ancient Maya people. He grew up speaking their language, and he speaks Spanish, and he speaks English. And he was the best resource possible that I could have found. And I just literally stumbled into him after leaving the Chocolate Museum in Antigua, Guatemala. Still probably with chocolate on my lips and chocolate in my purse and thinking about, oh my God, that chocolate was so good. And hey, look, another museum, kids. Right next door. How weird. The cosmology or museum or whatever. I can't even remember the name of it right this minute, but stumbled upon it. It was super, super interesting. And that's where I met Douglas Quinones, which led me to meeting the lady who discovered jade in Guatemala. She's an archaeologist, and they're best friends with Richard, the archaeologist who discovered the world's largest pyramid in the northern jungle of Guatemala. Pyramid is bigger than the ones in Egypt by volume. And what they've discovered recently is on the side of those pyramids, there are hieroglyphs that literally tell the exact creation story. So all the speculation over the past several decades, throw it out the window. Pretty soon we're going to know the whole real story of what the Mayans believed. But until then, we've got the stories that were passed down orally through all the families of the Mayan peoples, even though they moved into the city and to smaller villages south of the jungle. Douglas grew up knowing this stuff, and so he's going to talk more. But because the sound quality isn't as good as this recording, you're going to have to wear earbuds and turn it up, or put it on your laptop or computer with speakers and turn it up. I'm sorry about the sound quality. It is an issue, and there's nothing you can do. Once you record something, you can't change the volume up or down except, you know, with your earbuds or with speakers or something. It's ridiculous, and I know it's ridiculous. I'm very sorry about it. We have one more week of this for the Throwback Thursday, and then I think after that we just have the 5 minutes of therapy for your spiritual success, because all of my other episodes I think I have lost now. It's sad. I don't want to talk about it. It's just We've all had heavy losses. We have all sustained, each of us, heavy losses in the past 10 to 12 years. And if you haven't, I don't know where you've been. You either didn't have anything in the beginning to lose, or just you were spared. Be grateful. But everybody I know has had heavy losses in one way or another. Another friend of mine, I just found out he died right after I sent my cat to him, within a year or two of me sending my cat to him. So his son has my cat. My cat's okay, but I asked higher guidance, how come my friend isn't getting back to me? When I had to leave the States, I flew my cat to Florida. My cat is he was very special. His name is Hercules. He's still around. He still lives with us. But he went to the 16-year-old son of my friend because I couldn't put him in quarantine for 3 months when I hit South America. So I just decided not to do that. I just felt like it wasn't fair to him. And I felt once we get, settled in Ecuador, my friend the plan was to fly him down here on a cargo plane from the military. And my friend had to go do a mission. And when he did his mission, he was killed. So, darn it, I'm never going to see my cat again, except in the dream world, dream time. And one day he might pass and reincarnate and come back and be my kitty again, which would be lovely. He was the best cat I've ever had in my life. Well, I don't know. Narcissus was a really good kitty too. She was amazing. I've had a couple good kitties over the years. Right now I don't even have an animal except for the pigeons outside the window, and the little baby Freddie got up on the balcony and he doesn't fly yet. I don't know how he got up there, if he climbed or if he kind of flew that much, but I'm scared. Oh, the day he takes off from the balcony, I'm going to be so scared and nervous for him. It's pretty crazy, but he's not acting as crazy as he was. He's growing up pretty quick. Pigeons apparently grow fast. Anyway, it's cool to see nature outside my window like that, even if it is just pigeons. Anyway, without further ado, guys, I'm gonna pop this on over to a message and then the Douglas Quinones interview. And right now, but I'm not gonna come back on the other end of it. I'm just gonna say now, I'm signing off with peace and love and joy and the high vibes of the holy fifth dimension. Until next time. Hey you, have you ever thought about having your own podcast like me? Was it even a New Year's resolution? For me, it sure was. But as I've been looking into this for months, I was daunted. There's so many questions I had. When I was trying to get this off the ground, I was wondering, how do I record the episode? How do I get it across all the platforms? How do I get my podcast on Apple Podcasts when I don't even have an iPhone? How do I get it onto Spotify and all the other places? How do I get people to listen? And how do I make money from my podcast? How do I edit it? Oh my God, I had all these questions and I was so confused until I discovered the simple answer is Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and it is ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors too, so you can get paid to podcast. All you need to do is record it. You don't have to go out and look for people to advertise on your show. They help you. So basically what I like about podcasting is I don't have to have a video of myself. You don't know if my hair is dirty or if I'm still in my pajamas or even if I'm wearing makeup. Haha. And it's so easy. I could do this from the comfort of my own home in my living room using this amazing app right from my cell phone. So easy, right? So if you've always wanted to start your own podcast and make money, by the way, doing it, please go to anchor.fm/start. That is anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters that are already using Anchor. Again, that's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast, and I can't wait to favorite you. Woohoo! Let's be broadcast podcast buddies. I'll see you there.
And then it will reset to 0. Then, well, not really reset because you have an extra
5 days.
No, an extra 20 back tunes.
Oh, okay. So all right.
Time
then it starts over. So if we're in the 13th Bach tune now, and there's
sorry, we ended the 13th Bach tune.
Or we just ended the 13th Bach tune. So we're now in the 14th Bach tune. And we have 6 Bach tunes left. How long does that take? 6 Bach tunes?
Well, the first big tune is the year 4772 AD.
So we got plenty of time.
2000, we have time.
Okay, so if each one lasts 2,700 years, maybe?
Each Bach tune, well, some people say it lasts 400.
Okay.
Well, actually, it's 394, 95.
Okay.
That's in between those years.
So
400 will be if you follow the Gregorian calendar. We'll follow this exact date. When you reach 4 out and these numbers go by 0, then you have the difference. You have the proper end of the platoon.
So we probably have close to 12,000 years left before we start the calendar over.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe 10,000, 12,000
Yeah, but
years.
again, we're not starting over. We just continue.
But we just continue, like maybe 1 octave up.
Imagine we were counting, we are going to end 2,000, 3,000.
Yeah.
Then you have 20,000, you have a different digit.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have 1,000,000 years, then you have many more digits. That's the idea. This
Wow.
Idealize this.
Okay.
And the calendar round is the thing that goes round and round and round. And this cycle, this thing ends in 52 years.
Wow.
So, it's really complicated to understand
It's a little complicated, but it's really exciting because it's so precise.
Well, in addition, you have to take into account that they have these charts of Venus and Jupiter and Mars to make more accurate dates.
Wow.
How do we know this? You see this page here. This is page 74 from the Dresden Codex. Is this the book that the National Geographic Channel and History and Discovery Channel used to say the world was going to end? Why?
Oh my gosh.
You have here, this is the goddess O and the god L from the underworld.
O and L. Okay.
Yeah. And they have this, the cosmic alligator with the celestial band here, and these are eclipse signs.
Okay.
Water coming down.
Yeah.
And water coming down from the mouth of the alligator. They mentioned that this egg chant and Ekabji, which means dark heaven and dark earth,
Okay.
meant destruction. And
Okay.
They also said they thought that this meant a big flood was going to happen.
Wow.
The
Okay.
Mayan word for flood is Butikha.
Butikha.
Nowhere in this page on page 4 says anything about this.
There's no mention of a flood whatsoever.
There's no mention about it.
So what is the water coming down? What is that?
Well, I'll give you my interpretation of this.
Oh, good. Okay. And you are an archaeologist,
yeah,
right?
so I tried to give you the most accurate interpretation of this here. It says here that Ek, Chan, and Kaji, right? We have the presence of Bakar. He's one of the gods of the cardinal points. It also means to spray water. This sign.
Oh, okay.
And this here you have Venus here, and this is Chak, the god of thunder.
Okay.
Yeah. So Chak, god of thunder is like saying you have the Virgin Mary in when you end certain dates. So he's a very important god, and you mention in every sacred text.
Oh, okay.
Actually, it don't have to be that sacred, but they do mention him a lot. And Venus, the god of is related to war, but not in this case. You don't have that belief here.
Okay.
So it's only the name of Venus. So this is the cosmic alligator and the celestial band. Here you see signs of the eclipse here.
Okay.
This is the sun.
All right.
This is the moon here. So when the sun gets eclipsed, you can see Venus on the sky.
So when the sun gets eclipsed, you could see Venus in the sky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, it happens when the sun gets dark.
Right.
The first thing you see is Venus.
Right.
Here is Venus, and this is the sky, Chan. And
Oh.
when the moon
Okay.
eclipses the sun, which is here,
Okay.
it gets dark.
Of course.
So this is Akbar, this is darkness.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense. When it's dark in the sky, it's dark on the earth.
Yeah, this is one possible way to see it. And also here you see water coming down. Well, there's no flood here. If you check some pages before
Okay.
in this codex, you will see the toilet.
I don't know.
Hopefully the guard doesn't get angry.
I don't know.
Well, you have water
Okay.
on the other pages of the book.
So if it really truly meant flood, it would have shown water on the actual page.
Yeah, or say something about.
It wouldn't
the
be so cryptic. It would be very obvious so people could understand it.
Yeah.
Makes
well,
sense.
And also, we have to also know that Mayas were really complicated to say this stuff. But
Right.
nothing like that says.
It doesn't mention a flood at all.
No. In fact, they use this to calculate 52 almanacs related to planting and harvest corn.
Oh, I see.
Then you see this goddess here.
Okay.
So you see she's pouring water with this little vessel. Here
Okay.
you have a date. And we don't know what this date is about.
Okay.
So this is 120 something.
Okay.
And here this is the day E.
Okay.
E is the day to protect, to ask for protection for the crops. So maybe she's pouring water to protect the crops.
Okay.
So this is one way to see it.
Okay.
Also, because of this book, we understand how to read Mayan glyphs. We know
Okay.
how the calendar works. We know also the gods are shown in this book. So this is one really important book. This is one of the many books that the Spanish people burned.
They burned this book?
That survived.
Oh, that they survived.
Yeah, we
They
don't-
survived the Spanish because did they burn the other books?
Yeah, Diego de Landa, who came here to this region to Christianize people, he burned 60,000 books in the year 1527, more or less. He did it as an act of faith. Why? Because he thought it was evil. So you see this,
Just because he had no idea what it meant.
yeah, exactly. He had no
So
idea what it
ignorance.
meant. So,
Ignorance and book burning always seem to go hand in hand, right?
yeah.
Okay.
You have to be careful with the things because he doesn't like to keep going inside. So, police the guy.
It's okay. It's all right. Okay, so now what was this written on, this book?
This was written sometime at the post-classic era.
Did they have paper? What did they have?
It's not paper. It's the amate.
I don't know what that is, Ambate.
Amate. You know how they protect the crops of corn? Yeah. It's very similar.
Is it like a leaf
It's
from
like
a
leaf.
plant?
Yeah, it's a leaf.
Okay.
And this one is they are very long roots.
Oh,
This
nice.
one measures 3 meters long.
So they're physically very tall books or long books.
Long books. Not
Yeah.
taller, about this size.
Okay,
So this one is in Dresden, Germany. You have another one in Paris, and you have another one in Madrid, in Spain.
wow.
So, most of the books, I think there has to be some books in private collections,
Right.
but they won't say. And
Of course.
by the way, the Mayan people kept on doing these things. The scribes kept on writing in codex up until the year 1750 AD.
Wow.
Yeah, on why? Because the Spanish people came here. The Mayans were not allowed to have their own kings, their own governors. So
Oh, wow,
the Spanish
yeah.
people, they appointed them by who they wanted to choose, not the scribes, because the scribes are the only ones who kept on talking the language, and they could also speak Spanish. And to be a scribe is a very important tradition from back then.
Right.
So they couldn't move them, and they were not into accepting all those new rules of language. So this is why we can now write Mayan, use Mayan glyphs to write things in Spanish or in English or whatever, because
nice.
they created these similar sounds to fix the idea. For example, R, they didn't use R, but they used X. So maybe if you are familiar with the Guatemalan language or the pronunciation, they will say, instead of saying carro, they will say carro.
Carro.
Carro. Yeah, a lot of people say it. But,
Okay.
and there's a reason for that because they substitute R by the sound of X.
With the X. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't think of an exact example, but I have noticed a lot of the words are pronounced a little different here.
Yeah, it's because even our presidents, the last president, Colom, he talked like that, like with the R. Like he'll say floor instead of floor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Floor.
but there's a reason because of this. And
Because of the Mayan
indigenous
language.
people, indigenous people, they don't say the last syllable. They instead of saying carrito, they say carrit.
Carit.
Yeah, and why? Because in the Mayan writing system, they don't pronounce the last syllable.
Oh, very interesting.
It's not because they can't. It's just because they don't know that, and that's another reason why they cannot difference between male and female that easy, because they don't have that. It's like, when you speak Spanish, you don't say it like exactly how it is. It's the same with the Mayan.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
So, what is important for them is the text of creation, everything, the myth of creation. Sorry.
Okay.
And here on Kiriwa, you see the stela. Stela, see from Kiriwa. It's a very tall stela. It was carved sometime in the year 775 AD. And the important part of this stela is the east side. Why the east? Because the sun comes up every day from the east.
Yes.
So that's important for the Mayan. So if you go to a sacred building, you'll see the entrance will be facing east.
The entrance is always facing east. Now, these look like monoliths. This picture you showed me?
Yeah, this is called stelas.
Okay, estelas. Okay.
So that's the Latin word for.
And these are pictures of the largest Maya monoliths ever erected.
Yeah. The proper term for this is stela, which means in Latin, I think, a stone monument.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Estella.
and on the east part of this, you have the text of creation. This is
good.
13,000 for a half acre. This is August 11 or 13, 3114 BC.
Wow.
And it says here that it was shown that the 3 stones were planted by the jaguar paddler god and the stingray paddler god.
Okay.
You see those guys at the end of the canoe?
Yes.
Over there.
The canoe.
This one here is the jaguar paddler god and that's the stingray paddler god. They are carrying Hunhunaku, this is in the middle, into Xibalbá.
Okay.
Yeah, to enter Xibalbá, you need to cross a river or a lake. Maybe because you had to be clean to enter over there.
Right.
Maybe. Who knows?
Just like the old myth of crossing in the river Styx to get, was it to Hades? I don't know if I'm mixing my cultures here. But the idea of crossing the river to get into the underworld, and it's not really hell. It's just an underworld.
It's that's very accurate to say.
Yeah.
Because, it's not hell. People relate underworld with hell.
Okay.
In the Christian view, hell is in the underworld.
Right.
But not in Mayan. Mayan is really different.
Yeah.
So, he entered there to see the gods of creation. It's part of the myth of the Popol Vuh. He goes there, they kill him, and the hero twins, they resurrect him, and then life comes to earth.
So he resurrected?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks
and was he like the equivalent of the Christ?
Well, no, because he was not sacrificed.
Okay.
So he's the god of creation. Instead of Christ, he's like God.
Okay.
And by the way, he had a brother, so he's not the only one.
Okay.
And the hero twins, which are also gods of creation.
Okay.
Part of the creation myth, they have 2 brothers. They become monkeys. And myth, right?
Okay.
So these 2 guys, they plant the first stone, the jaguar throne stone.
Okay.
And then this guy, Eknalchak, not a lot of people know about this leaf. What I think is Chan, snake. If you see, it's very similar to this.
Okay.
So it could be Eknalchak Chan.
Okay. Eknalchak Chan. Okay.
He plants the snake throne stone, and then Itzamna, the god of wisdom, he gets them all together. He ties them together.
Okay.
With the water throne stone.
It's yeah.
At the edge, and they put this at the edge of the sky.
Okay.
It says here it happened at the edge of the sky, at the place of the Yashtun.
Yashtun.
Or the Yashtunan.
Yashtunan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yashtun is really important for this little museum here.
Okay.
And they planned this at when we end the Sweating Baktun. Yeah. And it was observed by Washak Chanahau, which means 6th heaven lord.
Okay.
Yeah, some Mayan philosophers, they think this could be the 6th lord of heaven, or it could be the 6th heaven lord, his name, literally.
Okay.
We don't know how to understand the numbers associated with names. You can leave it for your interpretation.
Okay.
There are books that talk about a certain end of the world, according to the Mayan. Chilambalams.
Yeah, we definitely want to know about the end of the world because most disappointing Armageddon ever.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's actually maybe this is the fault. It's fault of these books. These are called the Chilambalams. They were written between the years 1775 to 1880.
Okay.
And they do mention some eclipses, some where it's going to end. But if you notice the drawings, they have nothing to do with Mayan glyphs.
No, they don't. They're totally different.
So this is Spanish influence.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I could see the Spanish guy drawn there.
Yeah. So you cannot take this seriously.
Right.
And again, in the year 2024 or 2027, we have the same destruction event again.
Okay.
Because on the day 2K, fifth movement, the world is going to have an earthquake. But we cannot take this seriously because the scribe who did this, he was ordered by his king.
Okay.
Before to erase the history before them. So it is not really accurate.
Okay. So even the idea of having a whole world earthquake, that's still not even accurate.
Yeah, so in maybe 2027, maybe your kids can write a book right now. They can start associating whatever they want to do with that date. They could be millionaires.
Yeah, right?
A lot of people did. So the myth of creation is important, and I hope you remember the word I told you, the Yashtun.
Yashtun now.
Yeah, remember Yashtun?
Yashtun, okay.
So this is Hunahu, the father of creation, the god of corn. And this is Hunahu and Ishbalamke. In the Mayan myth of creation, he becomes the sun, and then he becomes the moon.
Okay.
And these two guys, they trick the hero, the gods of creation. So these gods are very playful gods.
Okay, so the god of the moon and the god of the sun are playful gods, and they're playing tricks
and right
on
now,
the main god, who's the god of the food, the god of corn.
Not the main god, the gods of creation, the 9 gods of creation.
The 9 gods of creation. Okay, so there's 9 gods.
So these are the guys that enter there to resurrect their father, to save him, because he lost. So now, he represents that he is born again.
Okay.
Yeah. So this guy, he creates man after 4 different tries. So the last try, he uses corn.
Okay.
So corn has 4 colors. So they create this, the Mayan cross.
Wow.
So imagine this will be like that. This is accurate.
Okay.
East, the sun is here.
Okay.
East, the sun comes up every day here.
Right.
So red is associated to east, red is life, red is blood.
Okay.
When the sun comes down to Shivalba, it's dark. That's the
Okay.
road to Shivalba. Then our north, you have white. White is associated to death, the Mayan. You might find in Mayan text that will say, instead of saying he died,
Okay.
you will say he entered his white road.
He entered his white robe.
Yeah.
And that means he
White road.
died.
Oh, yeah.
white road.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Like in Spanish, as coming in his way.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Or you can read about it saying he planted his white flower.
Oh,
so for some
cute.
reason, white is ready to death.
Okay.
And our south pole, you see, it's yellow here.
Okay. Okay.
But you see in the middle, you have green. Remember the word I told you?
Yashtun.
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 So-
I was trying so hard to remember it. Yashtun.
Yashtun. Well, in the center, you have to give life.
Okay.
Yeah. So yash is an analogy of first breath, being born. Yash means green,
Yes.
and tun means a stone. So
Okay.
what's the green stone for the Mayan?
The greenstone jade.
Exactly.
And we're in the Jade Museum,
This
right?
is why we have this here.
Oh.
That's the reason.
So what I'm looking at on the floor is a circle. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.